In the Senate, it remains a toss-up. Democrats have 48 seats secured, while Republicans are at 49, and it takes 51 to claim the majority. And there are just 3 races yet to be projected. Let's bring in CBS News Elections and Surveys Director Anthony Salvanto, our pope at a time like this, the man we all look to for direction, to get some insight into what happened last night and how we should read into these results. Anthony, can we begin with Pennsylvania, where we now know Democrats are projected to win in the Senate and in the gubernatorial races? What's the picture there from your point of view?
We can begin anywhere you like, Errol. So here we go, Pennsylvania. Now, how did we know this? Well, here's a Fetterman lead over Oz. We've got 95% in. Basically, Oz cannot catch Fetterman, would need too many votes of what's outstanding. The story really here, as it is any time a Democrat wins Pennsylvania, is as we watch these Philadelphia suburbs, the fact is they're blue, and that means the Democrat is having a decent night. If I were to take this and show folks where votes are counted, right? Land doesn't vote. So all these red areas, large counties geographically or in terms of land. But if I turn the state on its side and make the bars where vote is go higher, well, you see those blue areas more densely populated, right? Philadelphia, the suburbs around. So that's vote-rich area. You win those, you win the state.
That's a really helpful way of visualizing.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And I was just realizing, because we spoke with someone from Pittsburgh, they said suburban women really turned out, and that may have helped the Democratic candidates in this case.
Yeah, definitely part of the Democratic constituency, and that's been somewhat of a reliable vote to the extent that they can win it or do well with them whenever they do.
Let's talk about Georgia.
Yes.
As we're mentioning suburban women, last I was looking at the exit polls there, suburban women were favoring Warnock. They were also favoring Stacey Abrams, but Brian Kemp maintained his seat, his gubernatorial seat there. What was happening in Georgia? Because this is going to be really key.
Yeah, it is. Well, the thing with Kemp is, even in our polling, Georgians felt the state's economy was doing well. And that accrues to the incumbent governor. So he had an edge there. But in terms of the Senate race, look, you're right about the suburbs. All night long, we were talking about Atlanta and its suburbs. Again, here we have an area that's growing fast, diversifying and diverse, and of course, population, a lot of population. So when a Democrat does well there, as Warnock did, and frankly, if I go back and I say, well, Joe Biden won, you also see blue around the Atlanta suburbs. If I go back and say the Senate runoff there, Warnock's last vote, pulling that up, we got blue, blue, blue. That keeps Democrats in the game in Georgia. So here again, if I do that and I'll do the 3D modeling there and send that up, that's where the vote came in for Joe Biden back when he won it. And if I go back again and show you the race right now, you see it's still blue there. So that's those Atlanta suburbs. They'll be key again. They'll be key again as we go into the runoff.
Can we talk about Wisconsin? We know that the state's Republican senator has won.
Yeah.
Ron Johnson, we saw an emotional concession speech by Mandela Barnes, but he was, or at least seemed like he had momentum, the Democrat, leading up to midterm election day, and that all seemed to kind of not be enough in the end. What happened there?
Dissipated pretty quickly.
Well, this was a tight race throughout. Some pre-election polling, others had Johnson up by 8 points, so it was always going to be contested. Where this came down today, when we were able to make the projection, was about Milwaukee. When I talked about this morning, if folks were watching, I said, well, let's wait till Milwaukee comes in, because Barnes still needed a large number of votes, and yet Milwaukee is a very Democratic area. Once it came in, though, and it was all said and done, it was clear then that he would fall just short. And so Johnson hangs on there and is reelected.
You know, Anthony, as you were talking before about looking at some of the other election results and seeing how they sort of maintain consistency about which states, or which areas rather, are blue and red.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Florida, because Florida has, through history, has been such a purple state. Now it looks like it's becoming increasingly red. What's going on in Florida?
Purple has really become red. And I think we're beyond the point now where people are going to always talk about Florida as a swing state. We're really going to talk about it as a red state. Now, this is a comparison. If you were to make the comparison between what DeSantis did now and let's say the 2018 race where he just narrowly won.
Yeah, look at how close that was.
That's a really big difference, right? That was really close, but this time it wasn't. But there's news in Florida, and it's a very specific place. This is Miami-Dade, and the fact that Miami-Dade County is a shade of red is the news out of Florida because Republicans have been trying to make inroads with the Latino vote, which, of course, many Latino voters in Miami-Dade, that is the story right there. If I do a historical comparison, even in that 2018 race, Rick Scott loses, Nelson, the Democrat, wins Miami-Dade. DeSantis, back in 2018, still loses Miami-Dade. Joe Biden, even though he loses the state, loses Miami-Dade, but not, and this is the Marco Rubio race here last night. So Republicans winning Miami-Dade, that is your big news.
That's such a, I want to know, Anthony, is this a demographic shift? Is this because Latino voters have been effectively pulled into those key Republican talking points? Or does this have anything to do with the influences of the current president and the former president?
Well, at least one part of it still is the economy. Yeah. And what we saw throughout is there were at least two major issues going head to head here. And where people were concerned about the economy throughout, they tended to vote Republican. So that's at least part of it. But the idea of Republican candidates being able to make inroads or even win, if they can, the Latino vote really sort of changes the narrative, because for so many years, people are talking about the Latino vote being reliably Democratic, and yet that's not as much the case now.
Right. Still Democratic overwhelmingly, but not by the same margins that Democrats had counted on, right?
Depending on the place.
Yeah. Fascinating.
And sets up a really interesting 2024
yes,
election.
It's certain. Yes. Yeah. I have to get through. Okay. Yeah. You see these white states? I have to get through 2022.
Exactly.
Right,
but once we do that, we can talk,
I have every confidence in your abilities.
24. I have plenty of time.
Thank you.
And I will get some sleep between now and then.
Please do.
We hope so.
Anthony Salvanto, thanks.
Thank you.